Everyone, it is currently the 4th of July, 2016. Meteorologist Robert Spena here with you today. We are talking about our first named tropical storm of 2016. A tropical storm Nepartak, now currently located just towards the south of Guam, moving off towards the northwest. Do want to note, though, this is really coming on the heels of some of the quietest weather we have ever seen out here in the western Pacific over a extended period of time. Actually, second latest start to the typhoon season. The other one was back in 1998 when we had a storm form on July 9th. Key thing to note, though, is these are all years coming right after significant El Nino events. Kind of interesting, following very active tropical years, which 1997 was as well. We had an exceptionally late start to the season, a lot to do with the atmospheric dynamics with the changing from El Nino over towards La Nina, creating a lot of vertical wind shear. But also the longest time consistent all the way from December all the way out till July, where we had no named tropical systems from December 17th to July 3rd. Second was actually 198, so just beating it out according to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Actually, JMA also says 198 days according to their records, but I use JTWC because it kind of goes more towards my purpose, but both of their records a little bit conflicting at the very least. But hey, regardless, it's been quiet this year, but now things are heating up. Let's talk about our tropical system. All right, here actually you can see a little bit of a low that's been lingering just towards the east of the Philippines. That's been enhancing that monsoonal flow. We've been talking about that precipitation out there causing all sorts of problems out here across the Philippines. But over there, that's our tropical system. That is Nepartak, now moving off towards the northwest. Winds right now about 75, gusting up to 110 kilometers per hour. Pressure at 996 hectopascals. Key thing to note with this, it does have good banding coming in from the south, really wrapping around that center of circulation. But we do have that little bit of dry air kind of circulating into this, and that has been keeping the intensity at bay. This is really a classic tropical storm, if you will. According to the satellite imagery, we have no recon to really go in there and confirm winds any higher. So based on Dvorak, I agree with the agencies of the intensity, lower end, tropical storm, not quite the severe tropical storm status. That was our infrared. Here's your water vapor imagery, though. You can see that big burst of convection, and I expect that to continue to develop and strengthen because as this moves off towards the northwest, lower vertical wind shear and definitely increasing sea surface temperatures up towards about 30 to 32 degrees Celsius in some areas. You see it's moving away from Guam. In fact, all tropical storm warnings and watches have been dropped for Guam and also over towards Yap. There's a track actually from JTWC right there. Let's talk about JMA's track first. Moving off towards the northwest. Key thing to take with it, do take it right over Ishigaki and Miyako-jima, somewhere right in there. These islands are built like storm shelters. Always have to remember that. Anytime we're talking about those southwestern islands of Japan, even over towards Okinawa as well, you just have to remember, really the key thing if you are on any of these islands and you are being impacted by a storm like this is just stay indoors and ride it out. The buildings there are built for it. Unfortunately, the track does come closer towards Taiwan, and same with JTWC, Taiwan. The big thing here is those hills that run through the middle of the island. They do squeeze out storm systems like a sponge and just make for a tremendous amount of precipitation. JTWC as well, if you take a closer look at the intensity, moves it up to a Category 3 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, so a fairly potent storm system. Alright, so both of the tracks from JTBC and JMA, and many of the other agencies for that matter, southwestern islands of Japan, also maybe over towards northern Taiwan as of now, but lately some of the numerical guidance kind of shifting towards the west, and you can even see this recently with the GFS model. This is the NCEP. Look at this one right here. You have a big, kind of like a big a bunch kind of just towards the southwest, and then in the same model run a bunch of them off towards the northeast. This is the model trying to figure out that subtropical ridge, and it's kind of making for two hardcore outputs. Same with the ECMWF, actually a bunch of them coming down towards the southwest and off there towards the northeast. So right now, ECMWF and GFS and most models kind of agree that this should head over towards the southwestern islands, but I would still stay on guard just because of some of those westerly outputs if you were out here in southern Taiwan. But there's a closer look that is, at this track of this storm as it does come off this way, pushing over those islands, Taipei included. And as I mentioned, you have the mountain range up and down Taiwan here. Anytime we have tropical systems come on shore, it definitely brings a tremendous amount of precipitation. In some cases, 1,000 millimeters easy in just the course of 24 to 48 hours. So if this does happen, you already are waterlogged from the rainy season front. It definitely could bring more problems in some of those areas across that island. Meanwhile, if you are in Okinawa, I know you're watching very closely, and I think that's a smart idea. I know most of the models do keep this further towards the west, but you're still in that cone, guys, and you're still in that range where I would not be completely surprised. Look at that. You're right at the edge of the cone of air from the JTWC track. So you're still within that range, and some of that numerical output really trying to figure out how to take this storm, rounding the subtropical ridge back there towards the east. And it all depends on the upper level dynamics, and this is definitely the trickiest part of forecasting a storm, is how it runs around that circle there, running around the right-hand churn of this. So stay put. And also the big thing is that this is going to be moving towards the west of you, not towards the east of you if you are in Okinawa. That means, regardless, you're going to be in the right side of this storm. So if it does pull further and further east, you're still on the right side. That is the windy side. That's the side where if things start to kick up, they're going to kick up pretty fast, and you're going to get a windy day. If that does happen, it likely will be by Wednesday into Thursday. That's when we're expecting it out here across the southwestern islands of Japan. Alright, so let's take a look at your rainfall accumulation for now, and I'm really concentrating on the Philippines here. Yes, you can see our line shooting off there towards the northwest, and that's the center of circulation with the ECMWF, but also this enhances that monsoonal flow, and it means from Wednesday to Friday, pretty much, you're going to have the habagat that we talk about here in the Philippines, the enhanced monsoon. Some of these areas, look at that. About 1, 2, maybe 300 to 400 millimeters, especially there in parts of Palawan, western Visayas. It is going to be a wet one, and there is that threat of flooding to go with this. A lot of impacts with this storm, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to go around. Do check out Pacific Typhoon Season on Facebook. Have been putting some information out there. Also, just letting you know, check out DOS TV. That is the Philippine Weather Channel from 11 to noontime Philippine time. If you have any questions about the habagat, you can ask them directly there, and they'll answer you live on the air. It's kind of cool, so do check that out too. Also, westernpacificweather.com. Stay safe. As always, thanks for watching. All right.